Good evening. Assalamu alaikum. Namaste, everybody. Welcome to the Focus Education Services Leadership Conclave. This is our annual event, and I have this honor to be the moderator of this enlightened panel here. This is a gathering of teachers and educators and teacher trainers and aspiring teachers, and you all have been at the forefront of either guiding teachers to become better teachers or already teaching the in-service teachers to develop their practices. So my questions will be somewhere around that. I would request you to frame your answers as crisply as possible, so that we can have more discussion in a shorter time. Okay. So thank you so much for that. Some questions I will ask you individually because of your background, but some questions will be open for you to take it up, and more than one panelist can answer it. So I hope this mic is working properly, and am I audible to all? Yes. Okay, thank you. So, and at the end, we will also receive a couple of questions from the audience, just a couple of questions, so that I'm not the only person who have tortured them. I don't want that blame entirely. So, we'll start with Mr. Rafi. Rafi is a good friend of mine, and he runs a junior college, a degree college. But before that, I know he has been involved in a lot of guidance and counseling activities, and mentoring and training students right from his engineering days, right? So now you run junior college with 15, 16, 17 years old, and then you have another segment of degree college where you have these young girls and boys looking forward to make thriving careers, promising careers. What do you see? I mean, how do you perceive? Are these young people wanting to become teachers? Are really young people aspiring to become teachers? Do they still have this dream? Do they still have this ambition? Or they are just carried away by the most lucrative jobs and careers out there? You can take this mic. I'll just.
Hello everyone. Yes, Mustafa Zaidi sahab. The awareness is not there because teacher training, the academies are not there in the city. The society did not had since last few decades. The concept of a teacher training was not there. B.Ed colleges were there, but the B.Ed colleges only served degrees, not classes. That's the reason there was no placement, there was no college education for that, there was no placement, and they were not higher paying jobs also at the same time. And when you see if a person is telling himself as a career career guide, coach, he never in his career guidance used to tell कि भाई आप teaching का job लो. If somebody is guiding a child, he would have told the child कि भाई आप MPC लो, BPC लो या CEC लो. Take a CEC, become an entrepreneur. Take a CEC, become a businessman. Take MPC stream, become an engineer. Take BPC, become a pharmacist or a doctor. Never I have listened in my entire this career कि कोई career guidance coach बैठकर बोल रहा है कि भाई आप teacher बनो. तो first time we are seeing Focus Training Academy, Focus Educational Services that आप लोग सामने आकर you are creating awareness. We see we have 100 girls for example in a class, in a batch we have 100 girls. If you ask them बेटे कितने लोग आप लोग teachers बनना चाह रहे हैं, you hardly see one or two hands raised. Why? Because nobody have taught them कि बेटे तुम teacher बनो. And the schools they have come from, they have seen their teachers struggling to get their pay, struggling to get their dignity. So that's the reason. Now associations and institutions like Focus, when you all come up and tell them, you take teacher training, we are there to guide you, we are there to mentor you, हम आपको course curriculum design कर देंगे, आओ पढ़ो, and also we'll place you. There where we see a new kind of stream growing, and girls will then now raise their hands and tell हम भी teacher बनेंगे, because teacher बनना is not like getting into a job, एक employment में ना passion होना चाहिए. वो passion को ignite करने के लिए संस्थाओं की ज़रूरत है. And here we are.
Thank you so much. That's a very solid insight. Thank you so much for that. Ms. Madhavi, you have been an MI trainer, and you also, I'm sure you are always looking out for those young people who are passionate about education, and when it comes to elementary education, you need to be really passionate, you need to be absolutely crazy about kids, and you need to be, you need to be very different kind of an outgoing person, right? Are our colleges, are our universities producing that kind of a person that you can re-inject into the educational system, so that that class is powered by an extremely passionate person?
Thank you for this thought-provoking question. I do train Gen Z age people along with millennials, but the passion I observe is more with these millennials than these Gen Zs. As Ma'am was saying, they want everything like quick and they don't want to focus much, and all those things are there. Yes, if you ask me how many people are getting enrolled, very few. This is because teacher, as a profession, it is very, very honorable profession though, but then the income they get on this is very limited and little. So they cannot sometimes even lead their lives. So passion is not enough to live life. Of course, it will drive your life. That's why maybe most of the people want to become engineers or doctors or somebody else who can earn more money today, because the emphasis on the success is not related to your own holistic development or what you are contributing to the society or what, how you are benefiting other human, but the success now is related to how much you are earning, because it is changed for 20-25 years. This got a very wrong diversion. That's why there is no much interest. But then I train specially in Montessori education, and I get students not from colleges, never. I have students who are like mothers of those young children who I also run a school called Mega Montessori School. We have children in Montessori methods under 6 years, and also 6 to 12 and 12 to 15. So these mothers are very much interested to learn about the development of their children. I could see a lot of passion among mothers than these young ladies, young girls, because these young girls want to make their career because the success is related to that. But then mothers are related, their ambition is not to earn money, but to benefit those children. So the training I do is mostly to mothers than regular school, regular college girls. It is because maybe, as sir said, nobody tells them what are the opportunities if you do such programs. For example, the programs we run, EMAS is an organization that has affiliation centers across this world. Wherever you go with this diploma, whether they will recognize your B.Ed or M.Ed, they don't. I am M.Ed student, I finished M.Ed, but they don't agree with my thing, my diploma or my degree to give me a job. But with my diploma, my Montessori diploma, I can fetch a job anywhere in this world. So now that awareness is slowly building up, because this is like an international program, and also it is benefiting children a lot. So when they have got this awareness, then the momentum starts, I think. And one more thing I wanted to tell you is, you were talking about education. Education doesn't happen in the universities. Education must happen with children below 6 and especially below 12. If the education below 12, if any child gets it, and then he can guide his passion, his interest, then he can become whatever he has to become. But most of the conversations, everything that I hear starts from high school or university studies, because at university level you can't change the child much. But if you want to support the child, below 6 years is the right age, and that is the awareness that has to get into the society so that they don't neglect this child. Bacha hai, he is very young, he doesn't understand. No, you and me, if we go to any country, we can speak that language in our accent only. But take this child who is below 6, they can pick up that language because they got a large, huge capacity where our support can actually help those children to develop very good. And it's not about only teacher to develop a good human being. Every mother, every father, every uncle, every aunt, it is a duty of everybody in the society to help these children grow in a better way so that they can succeed in life. Whatever they become, everybody doesn't need to become teachers. As ma'am was saying, I also, one of my cousins is also in Delhi working in the Department of Education for Colleges, Rajesh Nair, I don't know if you know them. So he was also, when we had this discussion, he was also telling, after 10 years, high school children may not go to school and college children, even today they are not. Because now we have asynchronous education and synchronous education and online education, very little time. You have seen how many big companies are running work from home. So it's going to be like that. So high school children doesn't need any teacher as a teacher. They need mentors, they need facilitators, they need guides, but not the teacher. Why somebody should teach if I can teach myself?
Could you hold that thought back? I'm going to come back on that thought because you said something very important. The first thing was about mothers showing a lot of interest in becoming teachers because they want to understand the developmental status of their children, and therefore they want to become teachers. That's important for us to analyze. At the same time, I would like to ask Mr. Ibrahim, but how do we sell this counter narrative to our young bright minds who will just be trapped by a high salary bracket job and not wanting to become teacher just because there is not a lot of money there? So how are you as an educator, as a leader of an educational institution who would always want better quality teachers and smart teachers? Our smart teachers are going to be bought by the IT companies or the giants, right, tech giants. And how are we going to build that counter narrative where we can sell this idea to the kids that you are required in education? Please.
Okay. Thank you, first of all. So, good evening, everyone. It's nice to be here. Basically, lots of motivation would be required to sell this narrative. The most important part is the teachers are the real, nurturers of this children. So we need to motivate these teachers. We need to really pull them into the, bring them back, or make sure that they still love teaching, be passionate about teaching, and hopefully they'll be a good educators.
Thank you so much. Ms. Afshan, I have seen you organizing online courses for teachers, and you have been doing that very passionately. And you have got a huge network of speakers and teacher educators and teachers across the country, I guess, right? So you have got 5,000, more than 5,000, 10,000 teachers associated with your network, and that's a big deal. So same thing. But I'll go ahead and ask this question. What mind shift or what mindset shift do you see that is critical for teacher to survive in this age of AI, you say global change, in the way that the world is changing in so many ways, right? So could you please share what kind of mindset shift is required? Because we all have teachers here. What critical mindset shift is required to survive in this age?
Thank you for this question, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. The shift which a teacher is required. First thing is, for any teacher, we need to know, like during the lockdown, I can say one example. That time, everyone was struggling for the online classes. They were not able to do Zoom and use any online, tools also. That was also a paradigm shift when every teacher was struggling in that days. Now also, it's not a change, I should say, but a medium which a teacher can use. I'll give one example later. We have known Nokia phones. They have been like now obsolete or might be coming a new edition, but that time there were keypad phones and smartphones were launched. And what we have chosen? Smartphones. And a teacher with AI tools teacher, the difference is smartphone and Nokia pad. If you do that smartly and take up the things soon, the teacher can be, and I don't think so, like one more point I wanted to say, as we were saying here, there's a salary package. Salary depends upon the organization. If you have skills, if you know AI tools, I need to say not only AI tools, the teaching methods, content knowledge, subject knowledge, everything is important for a teacher. All these things, methods of teaching, new methods, creative methods. AI tool is making you the work easier. They are guiding you completely. Okay. You have to just implement the things. When you know to implement the things, salary is not a constraint or a handbag for the schools. So when the teacher is changing themselves or updating themselves for these technologies immediately and become smartphones, then I don't think so there will be any hurdles. I hope I have answered the question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And this is an open question to all of you now. I mean, whoever is ready to answer can please go ahead. So we have had a very different route to education as a teacher in the education industry. So we had these B.Ed colleges, and then we had these these qualifying examinations, and then teachers they will become teachers and educators. We are seeing diversity in those routes now, and many people are moving to teaching from IT, from a lot of different places, like and competing with people who are professionally trained into teaching. There are teachers here, and I'm sure everybody would like to know, okay, what does it mean to be an effective teacher in this age of AI? This is open to all of you. Whoever is ready can go ahead. You want a mic, please?
You want to say?
I'll repeat the important line of the question. What does it really mean to be an effective teacher in the age of AI?
As Mr. Singh was saying, ancient time onwards, human beings have been putting a lot of efforts, and there is a technical shift and drift each time. And what is never changed is the human being as a human being with humanness. At the age of AI, I think we should be very, very conscious about what kind of human being we are making. If it is for calculations or something, blah, 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 there are machines already. There we use AI, but then as a teacher, I have to help my student to connect with another human being and progress, be a part of that humanity, you know what I mean? So we never forget the humanness. So as a teacher, that's what I do to my children also. As a teacher, I want my children to get exposed to some idea or some concept, and then I allow them to explore. That's when AI can help. But exposing, I have to expose by giving some kind of stimulus or essence to my child to ignite that interest. And then for that, I have to be equipped with technology, everything. And when he starts, after exposing, he has to explore that. When he has to explore, that is the time where AI can be helpful. But then, after exploring, what he has to do, he has to feel those experiences. Just sitting in front of laptop and then doing doesn't help. He has to experience whatever he has explored. Then he will be expressing whatever he has experienced. Because with experience, when you talk, it could be any media, it could be exam or an art or a song or a poem or whatever it is, you will be expressing very, very confidently because you have experienced, because those experiences you have gained by exploration, and that exploration has come to you because of your exposure. So as very young onwards, we have to do that. I expose my children to different things.
Right, thank you so much for your input. Another quick question to all of you is, now, most of the teachers are women, and they have to have strike a very critical balance between work life and personal life. And then comes the continuous professional development. So teachers will have to spend time maybe outside the school hours, because very limited things can be done within the school working hours. So what can be arranged, or what could be the best way forward? Is professional development an intrusion in personal life, or is that going to be there and we'll have to make our little pretty sacrifices and go ahead with our professional development and self-education, right? So what do you think? I mean, when you teach these young teachers who have families, who have responsibilities, what do you see in them? How do they struggle? More importantly, how do they overcome that struggle?
That is true that we all have struggles, right? And we have done sacrifices. Today also most of them are here. We all are here. We have left our home and we are sitting here after school hours.
On the second Saturday.
So, second Saturday.
Before they say.
And I think all the women would have done washing clothes, cleaning house. We have left all those chores and we are here. Definitely we are sacrificing daily. If we want to go in a function also, we are sacrificing that. We are not sitting late nights. And morning we are coming. If we are doing it, again late mark, 3 late, what salary cut. Right? So we are sacrificing not only our house things, but our personal health. We are sacrificing mental health, relationship with husband, in-laws, daughter-in-laws, everywhere, brother-in-laws, sister-in-laws, brother-in-law is sister-in-laws. There is not much rapport between them. Right? So I will suggest few things here. First thing is, we have to be organized, and all teachers who are sitting here are organized. When I was a principal also in some schools, that time I have seen some struggles of teachers, the mothers which were coming newly trained or untrained to the schools as a teacher. They used to come late daily. I just talked to her. She said, "Ma'am, मैं फोन पे 1 घंटा बात कर रही थी मम्मी से रात में." मैं बोली 1 घंटा आप बात कर रही थी, यहाँ 1 घंटा कम हो गया ना? कैसा करेंगे आप? फर्स्ट पीरियड आपका इम्पोर्टेंट है। नहीं मैम मेरे से नहीं हुआ, वो आदत है ना। You have to change that. Thinking should change. When you want to do something, you have to know that you are going to make a career of a child. You have to know that you are the one as a role model, as an example to be a disciplined, punctual. So you have to start from yourself. You have to change your thinking first. So when the things comes as a struggles, you have to sacrifice the things. For continuous personal, professional development also, though we have lot of YouTube things or online classes and all, in online classes also, when as sir has said you already that I conduct online classes with courses of ECCE, PPTC, subject expert law. Alhamdulillah, my students are PhD also. And I was not knowing that I had my students from Andaman Nicobar Island. Suddenly that phones were coming and they were praising me, ma'am, आपका class अच्छा था, हमने attend किया. Even those classes also, teacher struggles. ऑनलाइन को टाइम नहीं था मैम, सडनली मेहमान आ गए थे मैम, थोड़ा ऐसा हो गया था मैम. अब हम रिकॉर्डिंग भी दे देंगे तो उनके पास स्ट्रगल, अरे मैम हम रिकॉर्डिंग देखने टाइम नहीं था मैम. आपके पास 2-3 घंटे स्क्रॉल करने के लिए रहते रात में लेटे लेटे बेड पे, मगर एक बुक निकाल के फोटोसिंथेसिस का एक बार मैं पढ़ लूँगी ताकि कल जाके अच्छा पढ़ा सकूँ, वो टाइम नहीं रहता. तो दैट्स वाई स्ट्रगल्स और सैक्रिफाइसेस जो है ना अपनी बनाई हुई चीज़ें हैं. For those things, you have to work on those things. You should change your thinking. अब मेरे को ये अगर करना है तो you have to do that before. अब अपने आप को अगर हम change नहीं कर रहे, taking things for granted, then you cannot sacrifice. और उसके लास्ट में नाम याद आता कि मैं बहुत struggle कर रही हूँ. Even my service is from 22 years. Sir भी बहुत struggle कर रहे, पर sir भी sacrifice करते. वो लोग भी नहीं जाते होंगे functions में. टाइम से जल्दी आ जाते, फ्रेंड्स के पास नहीं बैठते, क्रिकेट नहीं देखते होंगे रात तक बैठ के. वो लोग भी सैक्रिफाइस, सिर्फ लेडीज सैक्रिफाइस नहीं कर रहे, टीचर्स भी. यू डोंट बिलीव हम हमारी सैक्रिफाइस की बात करें, आई सी डॉक्टर सैक्रिफाइसिंग. हर प्रोफेशन में सैक्रिफाइस है. व्हेन यू वांट टू बिकम समथिंग यू हैव टू सैक्रिफाइस. कुछ पाना है तो कुछ खोना है.
अच्छा लगता जब सही सवाल पूछा Thank you for that very emotional answer. Ibrahim sir, I'll come back to Rafi. Sir, as the head of a prestigious institution and a visionary educationist, we as a society have spending on education as last priority, and therefore you can see moving forward, spending on professional development, spending on learning as a teacher, becomes the last priority. Is there any way to change this mindset? Is there any way to realize that investing in that journey of being smarter and smarter educator, right, can lead to wonderful outcomes?
So yes, of course.
You can use this mic if it's
No, it's okay. So just concise the question, last question, please. So you're.
How can we make teachers realize that it's worth investing in their own education and training?
Yeah. So basically, with regards to investment, like investing yourself or your money, your time, everything in education is extremely important, and the reason for that is like there are many investments that you can do. For example, buying homes, buying flats, buying cars. All those things are, yes, there are investments, but investing in your self-education will pass on to your students, to your generations to come, and those that investment is the very important investment, I believe.
Yes, thank you so much. So Rafi, understanding that you interact with students a lot, you motivate them. I can see that you are organizing events around students and always showing them possibilities of their careers, right? What can all schools do to promote the idea of teaching as career? Especially in the scenario when out of 100 kids, only 2 are aspiring to become teachers. So what could be a collective strategy?
Definitely. The awareness comes from emotions, but more than that, facts are there. If you see, if an MBBS doctor, a recently graduated MBBS doctor going to a hospital, he or she gets a salary of 40,000 rupees. An engineer from a prestigious college like Banjara Hills, a college is there. वहाँ से अगर आप इंजीनियरिंग करेंगे तो you will start with around 15,000, 25,000 rupees. I have seen teachers who have just finished their B.Ed or BSc. They already have packages around 50,000 to 60,000 rupees. I have seen MSc physics graduates, postgraduates, they are demanding 1,50,000 rupees. So if you see the facts, एक पर्दा है, आप नहीं देख रहे हैं उस पर. You think कि भाई टीचर्स बस है ना एक इमोशंस के साथ, आप वो पैशन के साथ वो बात करेंगे, नहीं, फैक्ट्स भी है. इफ़ यू सी AI की हम बात कर रहे हैं, इफ़ यू सी फिजिक्स वाला, देयर इज एन इंस्टीट्यूशन कॉल्ड फिजिक्स वाला, 5 लोकेशंस हैं उनके, एक टीचर पढ़ाता, एक टीचर लाइव एक लोकेशन पे पढ़ाता, 5 लोकेशन में 500 बच्चे बैठे हुए AI के जरिए वो लोग लाइव कैंप कर रहे हैं. तो आप बताइए यहाँ पर एक लेक्चरर की तनख्वाह क्या होगी? 10 lakhs rupees पर मंथ है रनिंग. ऐसा भी है आपके पास. एंड AI आपके क्लरिकल वर्क्स को काट रहा है. इफ यू सी AI, इट इज कटिंग शॉर्ट योर क्लरिकल वर्क्स. आपको लेसन प्लान बना रहा है, आपको फला करना है, आप AI से कट शॉर्ट करो. AI cannot teach the child. And in this time when you see the children out of 190 are suffering with some mental illness like ADHD, ODD, AI, what AI can do for them? You can do for them. Your emotions, your passion. टीचर को क्या करना है? टीचर को बच्चे को पढ़ाना है, नॉलेज देना है, वो नॉलेज बच्चा रेसिप्रोकेट करेगा, उतना ही है. टीचर को क्या करना है? बच्चे के साथ क्लरिकल वर्क्स करना है, ठीक है, AI करेगा आपसे. आपको क्या करना है? टीचर को बच्चे के साथ कनेक्ट करना है. 30 students in your class or 30 students should be connected to you as a teacher. आप ह्यूमन वैल्यूज देंगे, वो 15 साल के बाद रेसिप्रोकेट करेगा, वो बताएगा कि मेरे टीचर ने पढ़ाया. आज क्या घर जाकर बोलेगा? जो आप नॉलेज दिए वही एक्सपोज करेगा ना, घर जाकर वही बताएगा. जो आपने उसके दिमाग में फिल किया है वही घर जाकर बोलेगा. ये एक बात. दूसरी बात मैडम बता रहे थे, देखिए आप जो सेक्रीफाइस कर रहे हैं, दैट इज गिविंग यू अ डिग्निफाइड लाइफ, अ डिग्निफाइड लाइवलीहुड. Not to you, also to your family. Not to you, not to your family, also to your children, your grandchildren. एक बंदे से मेरी मुलाकात हुई, बोल रहा है कि मैं जो भी करता हूँ मेरी माँ से पूछ के करता हूँ. मेरी माँ मुर्शद से भी बढ़ के है. मेरी माँ कौन थे पता है? एक कॉन्वेंट स्कूल के टीचर थे. समझ रहे हैं आप? तो वो डिग्निटी है. मैं तो कई खबरों पर देखा, वो अपने नाम के नीचे प्रिंस अनवर कॉलेज लिखते हैं. देखिए आप डिग्निटी, देखिए आप. तो अगर आप प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनेंगे, आप MLA बनेंगे, आप डॉक्टर बनेंगे, इंजीनियर बनेंगे, वो एक पैशनेट लाइवलीहुड गुजरा होगा आपका. लेकिन जब आप टीचर बनेंगे, याद रखिए वो जो टीचर की जो वैल्यूज है ना, चिल्ड्रन में, ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन तक जाएगा. तो इंपॉर्टेंट ये है कि देखिए इमोशंस भी है, पैशन भी है, फैक्ट्स भी है. हाई पेइंग जॉब्स है टीचर्स के लिए. टिम्बरीज की अभी तक, माइनॉरिटी इंस्टीट्यूशंस के अभी तक पोस्ट फिल नहीं हो रहे. हमारे लोग जा रहे नहीं, लिख रहे नहीं एग्जाम्स, पोजीशन से बैठ रहे नहीं, 80,000 रुपये तनख्वाह है उसकी. तो बस ये अवेयरनेस लाने की जरूरत है.
Thank you so much. Thank you all panelists for your wonderful responses. I will conclude only by saying, but not summarizing the discussion, but I will conclude only by saying that in this age of, I mean, most of the speakers articulated that no AI can replace a teacher. Yes, no AI can, but some AI will. So you will have to be alert. You will have to be adaptive. Now, in this age of AI, even children are going through that change. So we will have to teach them resilience, we'll have to teach them compassion, we'll have to teach them the idea of justice and peace, we'll have to teach them the idea of inclusiveness, right? And this is possible only by a human teacher. So, like most of the strategists are articulating today, we have to be extremely human in the age of AI. Thank you so much for this lovely evening, for being a good. Thank you, panelists, for being here. You all have a nice day.